Welcome to podcast Basira, Nour. And as we promised you that we will cover the Enneagram conference in Cairo 2026. And this is today the third day, and we are meeting with one of the people that I would be interested. It's very interesting to have a speech and talk with her, Adelaida Harrison. And she is kind of specialized in Enneagram and neuroscience. So this is my area, and everybody knows that. So I am so looking forward to have this podcast with you. How are you, Adelaida?
Fine, thank you. I'm very grateful that you invited me to your space.
It's our pleasure, and I want to educate everyone, including me, because I'm always in a place of a student. I always like to listen. I always like to learn. So tell me, as an Enneagram teacher and trainer, and this is your, I think, the thing you are doing since too many years.
Yes.
So introduce yourself more about this kind of beautiful art of work that you are doing.
Well, first of all, I think the Enneagram saved my life really, because when I learned the Enneagram 20 years ago, I had a total change of mindset. And I decided to help people because I'm a chemist. My first degree was chemistry, and it had nothing to do with psychology, but it was so powerful and the change was so great that I decided I wanted to teach the Enneagram to other people. So I went and trained to Russ Hudson's Institute, Ginger Lapid Bogda. And basically, I got my specialty in business. But then I came over the business setting saying, oh, Enneagram, what's that? And numerology, astrology, what's that? And I said, it's psychology. But I had kind of the scientific mindset that I wanted to prove the validity of the Enneagram. So I went into a master in neurocognition. And then I found a lot of theories that have been proven scientifically that match perfectly well to explain what happens with the Enneagram. So I said, oh, this is beautiful because it's another way of entering the business world, explaining what is so esoteric, spiritual in a very easy way. So that's what I do. I try to explain the Enneagram and the neuroscience from a very easy way, easy view so people can understand it and change their mindset easily.
This is amazing. You know that I am a biochemist also.
Really?
But my bachelor degree is Science College biochemist, and I ended up in the same path like you. I think when we are based on scientific aspects, we study psychology in the middle or something related to spirituality or how the human psyche is working, we end up with neuroscience.
Yes.
Because we want to say or prove or make it easy for people to understand more the Enneagram and the types.
Yes, because it's incredible that this is a great tool and it could change the world. It could enhance relationships, education of kids. It would be so great that everyone knows it. So we have to do something to make it available for many people.
I have too many things to learn from you, so bear my questions. Okay. How can neuroscience and this new aspect that you added to the Enneagram system or Enneagram as a tool to improve not only the understanding or the map of the personality, also the whole process or system around us?
Well, I am going to try to be short, specific, but the personality system, operational system, it's that your beliefs create your mindset. Your mindset creates kind of an alarm system that's called the reticular activation system, which is in charge of finding enough evidence to prove your beliefs right.
Yes.
So the brain doesn't want you to be happy. The brain wants you to keep you alive.
And safe.
Yes,
Yeah.
but not happy.
Yes.
Happiness, it's to us. So the ego or personality job is to maintain you, keep you in your comfort zone, which is the most uncomfortable zone we could be.
Yes.
But the idea is that it directs your attention to what you believe is indispensable for survival. And each type has one survival belief.
Yes.
So the only thing we have to do is see which is our survival belief
And
question it, and do the process, scientific process.
yes.
Create an hypothesis, experiment. What if I do something different? Observe and get a new theory. And then you get a new mindset and you operate from your new mindset, new frame. And then you can find different evidence that your life could be different because you just changed that belief.
You put the neuroscience into action.
Yes.
And this is what I like.
So you only have to change one belief, the main belief of your type. And if you question this one, everything else, it's going to have an impact.
I will ask from my curiosity as someone who likes both the Enneagram and neuroscience, the resistance that we face at the beginning when people are putting their hands on the belief, the main major belief in the 9, shapes or 9 points. How can we make it easier for them or listen a little bit the resistance from a neuroscience point of view or any other tools you are using?
So they can open their mindset to receive information? I always like to compare our brain to a quantum computer.
Okay.
And I would like to ask you, if you had a cell phone from, I'm not going that back to your childhood, but would you use a cellular phone that was created in 2010?
No.
You couldn't operate.
No, of course.
Well, that's what our brain is trying to do. We try to operate a quantum computer with a software we designed the first 7 years of life. So maybe what was useful when you were a little kid, you weren't able to survive by yourself, you weren't able to do anything, and you needed to be liked and taken care of by your caregivers. That's what we need to actualize. So it's like the software of the cell phone.
Yeah.
You need to actualize your software in order to perform better and make better decisions and live better.
Even with yourself. It's just like it's an
It's
energy.
yourself,
Yeah.
the one you have to begin with.
Okay. And when you are, I think you are doing a podcast educating people about the Enneagram itself since 14 years, you told me, even before Spotify and all those beautiful things. I would love if you can give me the link so we can share it in the description box I would love people to hear more about that, to learn more about that. And tell me during this journey, because really it's quite an informative, beautiful journey that you even mix things together. Tell me about how did it start with you, Adele? The start point of Enneagram, like you started it.
My work with the neuroscience or before?
No, the Enneagram as a starting point with you. How did it start? What was the calling for you to start studying Enneagram?
Oh, as always, it's casualty. Some friends of mine called me and invited me to an Enneagram class.
Okay.
At that point, I was a catechist, so I said, oh, no, thank you. I'm a Catholic. I don't do that. So I understand perfectly well that people have a lot of resistance to go into a strange name tool. But as a nine, I heard that they were going to have breakfast before the class. So I said, okay, I'll try it because I want to go to the breakfast. I want to be with you and let's see what happens. And the first class, it was about my personality. So my teacher, who then was my colleague for 14 years, started saying things that I went,
That's me.
how come she knows things that no one knows from me?
About me. Yeah.
About me, yeah. She's saying that I don't like to say no. I am unable to say no, but no one knows that. So I got hooked.
Yeah, because you found some secrets, little secrets about yourself that were announced.
Yeah, they were reading me as if I were an open book, and she didn't know me. So
Yeah.
it was intriguing. And then I started understanding my husband, which I took the book and opened it in personality one and left it handy so he would like to read a little bit and change
like a
himself.
trick cut trap.
Yeah, yes, obviously. But that's the way I got hooked to the Enneagram. And then everything in my life is before the Enneagram and after the Enneagram.
I think also here in the Middle East in general, or where I live, that's why I can talk freely about it. I experienced that people sometimes also will have resistance to study Enneagram because of a religious aspect.
Yeah.
It's not only about Catholic, it's
No.
just everyone that is very kind of religious, let's say, they resist until they discover that this Enneagram is saying something psychological more, or about their system, about how their brain and their personality is kind of, processing.
Yes, and I would love, if you're okay with this,
Yes, sure.
we can talk a little bit about the spirituality of the Enneagram, which is my passion really.
Yes.
Because we are all unique souls. And the ego, when we're kids, we start believing or seeing or feeling that our caregivers don't like us to be spontaneous and authentic. So then we start creating the real imposter, which is our type. And we start acting as if what we think they are going to like about us. So if we believe we're child's God, we have to let go the ego, which is based on fear, and go back to unconditional love that all religions and all spiritual paths teach. And the way to go back to your self-love and to love and connection with God, you have to let go the ego.
And also, we have a very, very not important, but it's heart-touching quote that everyone who knows himself deeply, he will be closer to the Creator. So the more kind of you are diving in, it's kind of giving you the chance to be closer to the true, real connection.
Yes.
So this is even when I start teaching Enneagram or talking about Enneagram in Dubai or Cairo, I always put this one as a beginning, because we kind of encouraged from all the spiritual aspects to know ourselves more, to be closer to the Creator.
Yes, we have, well, it doesn't matter the teacher which religion belongs, but there's Teresa of Avila, Santa Teresa. She used to say that, well, she explained, a Teresian, that the word sin means error or forgetting. You forgot who you are. And that is a misconception. So whenever you realize or know the Enneagram, you know yourself, you know that you're not your style, and then you connect with your soul. And when you connect with your soul, you reconnect with who you are.
And this is like a journey of remembering.
Yes.
It's a journey of remembering who you truly are. And you are not all the layers or the belief system that the family or the society is always feeding you since we were very young, right?
Yeah. And there's another thing I would like to share if we have time.
Of course.
About, I helped a lady in Mexico who made a great research on the Enneagram. She wrote a book which I highly recommend. Where did the Enneagram come from?
Mm-hmm.
And on the portrait, it has the first Enneagram figure that we can find in time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made by Ramon Llull, who lived around the 14th century.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to he was Catholic Christian, but he wanted to understand the Jewish and the Islam. And he tried to do something to unite the three religions.
Yeah.
And that is the first figure. It's figure T, which is the first Enneagram drawing we can find.
Wow,
So,
I would love to read this book.
Yes, I have some notes and I will share.
Yes.
Because I think the Enneagram does that. It goes over the barriers, over everything, and finds what we coincide in instead of trying to separate people, religions, races, countries.
So it unites us
Yes.
from the beginning, and it makes the wholeness we are
Yes.
living inside.
And the
It will
wholeness of the
be
world.
outside and in the whole world. Thank you very much. That was really, really very nice to meet you today. And I think my podcast with you went smoothly, as the energy of your beautiful leading 9 is really kind of really spreading. Honestly, I can tell from my voice. I can tell from the energy I feel now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
it's a pleasure.
I travel a lot to Mexico because my husband is traveling to this place. Yeah. And I visited a lot of cities there. You have a beautiful country. And thank you that you are here in Cairo.
It would be a pleasure to have you there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was our today's one of the interviews. We will share all the links for our beautiful Enneagram teacher and trainer, and we will put it in the description box. So even the book name, that if you would like to share, and also everyone who sat with us during the conference, we will try to make their links available for everybody, for their courses, for their information. If you also have a podcast, please let's share also the link. And that was Safy Mousa, your host in podcast Basira Nour. And thank you. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.